Hey guys, welcome back to Carib 21 Network, wherever in the world you're watching us from. So today I want to talk about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So roughly about 1 year and 6 months ago when I went to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that was around the time when the Sandals Hotel was opening in St. Vincent. At the time I said that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the Caribbean best kept secret. And fast forward, we see in 2026 a lot of attention on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There are vloggers from all over the world, travel vloggers, emerging onto St. Vincent and the Grenadines, especially since Sandals have opened their resort in St. Vincent. And in 2025, we saw over 100,000 tourist arrival for the first time in the history of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And now we're seeing the Pocket Rocket, the greatest track and field female athlete in the history of the world, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, visiting St. Vincent and the Grenadines on her sports and motivational tour. And trust me, this was a good collaboration between Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce from Jamaica and seeing her there motivating the youngsters in the school system in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because we all know that track and field can transform a country, and we saw it with Jamaica, with Usain Bolt, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and all the greats that came before them. So when I saw this, I'm like, this is a really good initiative from the Pocket Rocket Foundation, that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce would go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and she would motivate. Because to me, this is planting a seed in those young girls and young boys in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who have the dream to be one day at the Olympic, and just to be close to a legend like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the fastest woman in the world. That is a lot of motivation and inspiration for those young kids in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So this was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the Pocket Rocket Foundation, with her motivational message to the youngsters in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Allow me to acknowledge Mr. Keith Joseph. Sir, you almost made me cry. And also Mr. Renson Haynes from Awesome Sport. I would also like to acknowledge, I don't know if many of you would have known this, Mr. Olivier. Can you stand, please? So, and of course, allow me to acknowledge the young men from the Pocket Rocket Foundation and all the directors that are here. Good afternoon, or good afternoon, everyone. I don't know if you know, but as you can see, Mr. Olivier is wearing a hat that says Wolmer's. I am a past student of the Wolmer's High School for Girls, and funny enough, before I became Olympic champion or world champion, or before you knew who I was, this young man, this young man, because I know Mr. Olivier a long time, Mr. Olivier used to coach me. I was a part, yes. So I was a part of the Eat That Track Club in Jamaica. So I don't know. So that's a little history for you. So you know how long that we used to train. I think at that time it's by the Police Officers Club. Yeah, and you as well, because we used to go to what they call this championship that used to have. Was it Police Championship or one of those championships? Yes. So we used to train. I used to go there in the evenings, and I used to be a part of the club. So every time I went to a track meet, I was a part of the Eat That Track Club. Okay, I say all of that to say that you and I are no different. We are no different. We all, right here, right now, will have or can have the same history. Right? So I want you to understand that when Mr. Olivier started to coach me, sure, Mr. Carr was my coach at high school, but when Mr. Olivier was coaching me, I wasn't an Olympic champion yet. I wasn't a world champion yet. All of that started with just the work and the dream and understanding that you and I are no different. I am from Jamaica. Yes, we're separated by the sea and some distance, but just like here in the St. Vincent, we are from the islands and we are no different. I know Mr. Cato spoke about limitations, but there are no limitations in success and greatness. And I want you to understand that. You know why I said that? Here's why I said that. When I started, I lived in a one-bedroom. I had one suit. I was at training every morning. My mother was poor. I didn't believe I could make it, and here I am today. You know why? You know why that happened? Because I made what I had worked for me. And you know, your grandmother used to always talk about take your hand and turn fashion. Everybody ever hear that? Yeah, so your grandmother used to say, take your hand, turn fashion. The reality is, we're not going to have the world's best resources. But the reality is, men like Renson and Mr. Olivier believe in a dream. And because they believe in something, they give it 100%. So I want you to understand that. So don't feel like because, oh, St. Vincent don't have this or we don't have that, you don't have it yet. You are the beginning of something great for your country, and you have to believe that. It takes one person, just one, to start, and then the rest will follow. That's how we build impact, and that's how we build legacy. Do it at home. When I graduated from Wolmer's in 2006, I stayed home. And I know a lot of persons, including my mother, would say, no, don't stay in Jamaica, go overseas. But I am homegrown. I was developed right in Jamaica, right? So if I can do it in Jamaica, you can do it in St. Vincent. And I want you to believe that, right? So I want you to believe that. So I am here because I had people who believed in me, one, and I also believed in myself. That's where it all started. So every morning when you get up and you're going to training, or in the evening, depending on the time of the day you train, you have to want it. Your mother can't want it for you. Your father can't want it for you. Your friends can't want it for you. You have to want it for yourself. And you have to be willing to do more work than the next person to get it. And one of the things that, as I got older in track, I recognize that for me, I wish I advocated for myself more. So I'm telling you now, you are at the age and the stage where I'm asking you to advocate for what you want. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot. Don't let anyone tell you that you're too young. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh, you're just from St. Vincent. No, that's not how it works. We are from a region that produces diamonds. We are from the region that produce athletes that are world beaters, and you have to believe that. In the last, I told Renson earlier, and I think maybe I said it on, who was I speaking to? I think I was speaking to, yes, when I said, here's what I said. I want you to also write this down because this is very important. 2008, when I won the Olympic Games, from 2008 to 2024, a Caribbean athlete has won the Olympic 100-meter gold medal. Do you know how significant that is? That is very, very significant. You know why? It says that no matter what you see in the world, we can do it at home. We have it here. We have the talent. We have the capabilities. We just have to believe that we can. Use what you have. As I said, I remember going to training. When I won the Olympic Games in 2008, I was barely lifting 90 pounds on the bench press. Barely. I was barely squatting, but I was doing it with intention. Every single thing that you do must be done with intention. You must want it. You have to be intentional. The way you run, the way you train, the way you warm up, the way you read, it has to be intentional. It has to be that you are going for something. You have to write it down. You have to remind yourself, because I can tell you, the brain is a funny thing. Sometimes it will forget, but you cannot allow yourself to forget what you are chasing. You cannot allow yourself to forget where you're heading. You cannot forget that you are the beginning of something great for St. Vincent. So you have to keep telling yourself that you have to tell yourself that I am the beginning. And when you set the foundation, others will come. I am here because Merlin Otti never gave up. I am here because Donald Quarry never gave up, and they went championship after championship. And I know for a lot of you would have known Merlin's story, that they called Merlin the Bronze Queen, because it always eluded her. But you know what happened? It never eluded us, and it was because of her. So you have to understand that you have to use the motivation, not just from here, but from around the region, and you have to use it as fuel. You have to use it as energy. You have to use it to want more for yourself. For the ladies and the young men that have been at the character games, I have never been at the character games. So you have already started ahead of me. That's how tough it was back in Jamaica to make the character team. But you have. I went to a CAC games. My first championship was a CAC games in Trinidad and Tobago. So I say all of that to say that you have the blueprint. You already have it. You have so many inspiration, so many young athletes around the region that you can look up to, that you can emulate, that you can draw inspiration from. Have a book, write it down. Tell yourself day after day what it is I am chasing, what it is that I want. And I'm going to say this. Every single thing, the Bible says, all things work together for good for them that love and trust God. It means that right now, you may not be where you want to be, but it's going to be for your good in the future. You're going to look back, and you're going to understand that, okay, I didn't get this, but I'm here now. And you have to use those moments. You have to use the victory. You have to use the losses. You have to use the disappointment. You have to use the tears. And you have to know that all things work together for good. As usual, being an athlete, and I'm from an inner city, I understand the power of giving back. Because I am who I am because persons gave back to me. Persons saw in me potential and they invested in that potential. We cannot go anywhere without the help of somebody. That's the reality. Nowhere. We need, all of us, we need somebody. And there are so many persons that poured into me, and that's the reason I started my Pocket Rocket Foundation, because I believe that true legacy and impact is also included in serving. We all have to serve. We are called to serve, right? It's not just about us. Yes, we want, but at the same time, we have to give and give and give. And the Pocket Rocket Foundation was born out of the idea that student athletes deserve to have lasting change. So the Pocket Rocket Foundation exists for student athletes in Jamaica. We haven't extended it to the region yet. Hopefully we can get there. But we offer scholarship to student athletes from second form all the way until they finish high school. We pay for their tuition, their books, whatever it is that they need to get through high school, and all we ask them to do is to maintain an average of 60% in school. Right? So that's all we're asking them. But of course, with the Pocket Rocket Foundation, they also have to play a sport. It doesn't have to be track. It can be football, it can be table tennis, it can be netball, it can be swimming, whichever sport that they choose. And I want to give them the opportunity to not worry about where the book is coming from, where the tuition is coming from. I want them to sit in the classroom or to go in their respective field of play and to give 100% and not worry about anything. So at the community level, I'm from Waterhouse, which is an inner city in Kingston. We started a Peace Through Sports initiative, and I don't know if it's here the same. In Jamaica, as always, sometimes we are divided by violence, and you find that people will tell you, oh, you can't go at the top, or you can't go at the bottom, or you can't go to the side. But football, it is Nelson Mandela who said sports has the power to transform the world. And he's right when he said that. Right? So football, we come together and we play football in the communities. We have 20 teams that plays football. And we select and we get a winner at the end of the competition. So I want to thank you guys for your hospitality. We look forward to just meeting and greeting with all the athletes. And again, always remember that you are greatness. And you have to believe that that greatness can come from anywhere, no matter how small. And St. Vincent is one of them. So big up on yourself.
What I would say to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is to strike the iron while it's hot. St. Vincent and the Grenadines right now is one of the hottest islands within the Caribbean right now. A lot of people are talking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And this is all because of the Argyle International Airport. Now we're seeing international flights coming from all over the United States of America and from Canada. Direct flight and giving travelers a new destination for most travelers, because before it was very difficult to get to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So now people have that direct flight that will take them from 4 hours to 3 hours into St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and government need to strike. And as it pertains to that visit from Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, a lot of young people are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the school system. St. Vincent is a very mountainous island, and we know from the Caribbean, where we see Jamaica, we see Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts and Nevis, and we saw the success that they had in the Olympics in the past. And I believe that this is the time to invest in these young boys and girls in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because trust me, having Vincentian athletes at the Olympics in the future, that would be a game changer. And I believe that what Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce went and did, she's going to inspire a lot of young girls and young boys in that school system, that they had access to a legend like her, and knowing that she came from a small Caribbean island also, and she was able to take the world by storm. So now they have a reference point. They're like, if Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce can do it, maybe we can do it. And I believe that now is the time for the government to invest in track and field, to invest in tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because right now, the sky is the limit. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. Here at Carib 21, I'm on a mission to showcase the vibrant culture and the breathtaking beauty of the Caribbean while showcasing our culture and what is trending. If you want to support me on this mission, please subscribe. And if you also want to support, you can hit the comment section and buy me a cup of coffee. In order to buy me a cup of coffee, you can follow these instructions. Just click more. You will see the link to buy me a cup of coffee. Click the link. You can purchase 1 or 2 cups of coffee, and you'll be helping me to fulfill this mission. Thank you.